I'll be singing Holy Mother of Moses. I just wanna buy you roses, open every door that closes, and kiss you from your head to your toes. I like your soul, baby. You got that heart made of gold, baby. I'm gonna love you till I'm old, baby. I just wanna be your baby. I like your soul. I like your soul. I like your soul. I like your soul. Don't need to be undressing to feel like you're impressing. Must have died and gone to heaven. Gonna take me to confession. Give me five. Yeah, you got me singing Holy Mother of Moses. I just wanna buy you roses, open every door that closes, and kiss you from your head to your toes. I like your soul, baby. You got that heart made of gold, baby. I'm gonna love you till I'm old, baby. I just wanna be your baby. I like your soul. I like your soul. I like your soul. I like your soul. And just so you know, I like your soul, baby. I like your soul, baby. You got that heart made of gold, baby. I'm gonna love you till I'm old, baby. I just wanna be your baby. I like your soul, baby. You got that heart made of gold, baby. I'm gonna love you till I'm old, baby. I just wanna be your baby. I like your soul. I like your soul. I like your soul. I like your soul.
Sitting in the morning sun, I'll be sitting till the
Good evening, everyone. My name is Molly Higgins. I am here to be the hostess with the mostest tonight. Welcome, everyone. We tonight are talking about thriving in overwhelm. I know, especially right now, as transitions are happening at home, there's a lot of overwhelm, and at certain times in our lives, things that come up. And so, we have some really great tools to help you with that. One of them being oils. the power of oils. Have you ever thought of essential oils and how much they can help you get through tough times? I'll do the next slide as I introduce Corinne Lott. She's going to talk to us a little bit about how Calm Oil has helped her. So hi, Corinne, you want to come on?
Hey, yes,
Hi.
I wanted to share, especially where we're talking about the Calm Oil. I wanted to share the very first time that I used it. You guys, I have a fly. Sorry about that. I wanted to talk about the very first time that I had the opportunity to smell the Calm Oil and use that. We had traveled down to Utah and had a headache for about a day and a half. And it was just a low grade headache. You know, I call them traveling headaches at times, you know, when you're not getting enough water and not eating the best foods because we're traveling. And I remember sitting in the conference room and they were passing around the bottle of Calm. And I remember taking a smell of it and I thought, okay, I need to pass it to the next person. I don't want to just hoard it for myself. And so I went to pass it and then I brought it back and got a second whiff of it. And within about 2 or 3 minutes, that headache was completely gone. And I just sat there going, are you kidding me? And I listened to the rest of the meeting. Greg was speaking and I think Jennifer was there. And it was so funny because I just kept going, where am I going to get that Calm Oil bottle? You know, I hope they have some for me to take home tonight, but literally just a couple of inhalations of it and that headache was gone. And I've now over the last, 7 years, 8 years, I don't go anywhere without the oils. They help so many things. And I just needed to kind of calm down from all the traveling. And I just loved that it could take away the headache that quick.
That's so awesome. I know. I feel like the power of the olfactory system is really underestimated. And that's so cool that that helped you just like that, come out of that headache. Thank you for sharing, Corinne. Next, we're gonna talk about these different colors that Solle has. So Solle has 4 different colors, and here to tell us all about those colors and what they mean and what they stand for is Tiffany DeLuisi. She is full of a ton of information. So welcome, Tiffany, and thank you so much for hopping on to teach us some stuff.
Yes, thank you. So we're gonna talk about, if you ever notice that on your bottles there's different colors, you see some red, green, blue, and have you ever wondered what they're for? Well, they actually match up to very specific things. So the green represents balance. I'm going to talk about that here in a minute. The blue represents calm, the yellow clarify, and the red lift. So I don't know, I don't see the slides, but
Do you want me to share them, Tiffany?
oh yeah, did you want me to do that? And I forgot.
I can do it. I got it.
Okay, thank you. Sorry. All right, so we can go to the next slide. All right, so balance. How do you define balance? So when I think of my health and well-being, I define balance as both physical, mental, and emotional equilibrium. And in order to attain proper balance, we must nutritionally support both the mind and body. And that's one reason why I love that Solle uses adaptogenic herbs, is because it can help the body do some really amazing things. So when we think of balance, we think of balancing out our pH levels, strengthening our immunity, enhancing our emotional state, managing our stress, sustaining energy, and even promoting a restful sleep. So no matter how hard we try to stay on track, right? We're never perfect. Our life has a way of sometimes knocking us off balance. So what the balance line does, think green, is it helps restore both physical and emotional balance or equilibrium. So when we're out of balance in one way or another, this can help us find more balance. So if you're feeling like I'm just a little off, think green and pick something from the green line. All right, next slide, please. Lift. So red, think lift. And the definition of lift is to raise from a lower to a higher level. So this is whether you're talking about your energy levels, your immune system, your mood, or even your mental state. And we all have times where we feel like we could use a little lift, right? So I wake up in the morning and I'm dragging and I have no energy, and I pick a red, which is my cinnamate, and it helps wake me up and get me going for the day. Okay. So just because things are constantly changing doesn't mean that things have to be out of control. And so a key to handling change means we're being more adaptable throughout the day. So we're all kind of up and down throughout the day at different times. But we always kind of want to feel up, right? So that mid-afternoon slump where I'm like, I want to go take a nap. I want something that's going to kind of lift me up and keep me going, right? So whether this be, we want to have some blood sugar management, increased stamina, strengthened immunity, improved mental focus, ease digestion, increase your metabolism, boost energy, support hormone balance, even boost your libido, or increase your vitality, think red and think lift. Right, next slide. So our yellow is to clarify, and to clarify means to make something clearer or to make a situation or a concept more comprehensible. So how does this apply to your health and well-being? So when we support and enhance the clarity of both the body and the mind, you can tackle a number of common health concerns and make things much simpler and more enjoyable. So in Ayurvedic medicine, which is a 3,000-year-old practice started in India, they believe in this whole body approach. So mind body, which is also what Solle believes in, is addressing both. And it's based on this belief that the health and wellness depends on a very delicate balance, once again, of the mind, body, and spirit. And so one way to bring clarity into the body is through the use of adaptogen herbs. So it can help support your endocrine system, balance hormones, strengthen bones, promote healthy circulation, respiratory, and even vision. That's the first thing I think of when I think clarity. I think vision, being able to see better, and also enhance a healthy digestive system. And when things are not clear, we always have to try to find a way through. Okay. And what the adaptogens do is come into our body and help us be more mindful, but also have our body have more clarity on how to come back into balance. And our last category is calm, which is our blue. And that is being in a state of tranquility. I actually had heard recently from someone, I think it was like in like color therapy, and that a blue is actually a very good color for a bedroom because it brings calming and tranquility and helps you sleep. So I believe that being able to remain calm and focused, especially when we're just bombarded with everyday stressors, really is a component of overall wellness. And of course, getting a good night's rest is something that also is very critical to good health. So how can you experience these benefits holistically? Well, when you think blue, think about calming your nervous system, sleeping better, restoring harmony to your emotions, or having a balanced mood. Even being, manage your fatigue and helping your body repair naturally. This can even be helping your body digest proteins, carbohydrates, and fats. And it can also help bring your blood sugar back into balance or soothe digestion. So I kind of think like heartburn or acid reflux, like calm it down. Calmness is a state of mind that we all continuously seek, but we never really truly achieve because of our daily stressors. And so certain adaptogens like yuzu and passion flower, which you will find in some of our calm line, is a great way to kind of bring that tranquility and that calmness and rejuvenation back into the body. So as you're kind of taking your, soul supplements and you're kind of wondering, well, what is this for? Ask yourself, you're thinking, what do I need? Do I need a little bit of calming in my life? Do I feel like I need a little bit more balance? Do I need some lift today? Or maybe I just need some clarity, and pick a product based on one of those colors.
Awesome. Thank you, Tiffany. I love I love the way that those are organized, that, if you're feeling out of balance, you know to quickly go for a green product, or, if you're feeling real sluggish, you can grab a red product and feel that lift. And like Corinne said, it helps to clear the blocks within your mind and body, and then, lastly, with that calming line, it does help to kind of soothe and bring peace and calm to your digestive system and to your mind. It's so important. Thank you so much. Which leads me to Valerie Bledsoe. I know that you're going to share something great with us. So let's hear from you.
Thank you, Molly. I just have to say that Soul came into our lives at the absolute right time. Many of you know that out of our 6 children, our 3rd oldest deployed to Afghanistan. And while she was in Afghanistan, we raised her son. In fact, he'd pretty much been with us since he was 2 weeks old. But when she deployed, he was 14 months old. And once she got back is when Soul entered our lives. And I still remember him being at the first little Soul event that we ever even had out here in Kansas, when Greg came out and Jordan and Alan and Cynthia, they were all out, and I was in there with this and doing a little teaching along with Greg, and I had my grandson there, and he's 14 now. So that kind of gives you an idea. But I want you to think about what happens when you're that young and all of a sudden one day your mother's gone. You don't have a clue why. And then a year later, she comes home, and she's home for 2 weeks, and then she's gone again for another 6 to 8 months. There's no way that a child that young can understand what's going on. So right about, I think 6 months or so into Soul that we got the Soul oils. And I was at that same event that Corinne was at, and I remember getting the calm. And once we got home, I knew I had to use it with this grandson, because at that point, my daughter had come back home and Wyatt was having nightmares. And it makes sense. I mean, he did not know if he was going to wake up and she was going to be gone. So, and they were still living at our home in the transition. We knew, because there was a lot of things, and many of you have heard our testimony with my daughter with Adaptable and the results she had. So what I did is I took my grandson, and it's only took 3 nights, guys. I took and put a couple drops of calm on, a little towel that he slept with. And within 3 nights, the nightmares were gone and they never came back. So that's how quickly that worked. And for those of you that don't know, calm is very, very good on childhood trauma. So to be able to use this to address that when he was this age was incredible. But there's more to the story. So as a result of her coming and going at this young age, he would not tell anyone goodbye. Goodbye was something he wouldn't do. He would run and take off to his room, because he had a room in our house. And he would also tell me that he didn't have a heart. So, and this is a very precocious child. And I will tell you that he and I would, for fun, build anatomy puzzles, and he would want to discuss insulin production. So when I say it was very precocious, I mean it. But so I watched this child with this, and then I thought, okay, let's try something. Calm's good for this type of trauma. So I made a roll-on, and I put the calm in it, along with just a carrier oil. And I would call him over, and this took about 45 days. And I would tell him, all right, come here, let grandma put squiggles up and down your spine. And I did that. And because he didn't have a heart, remember, he would get in an argument with me. I'd say, and let grandma put squiggles on your chest. And we do that 2 or 3 times a day. And it was just status quo. Well, about 45 days into this, my sister came down to visit, and her son was 18 months younger than my grandson. And they play very well together. And I remember watching my sister leave, and Wyatt ran up and he hugged and kissed both his cousin and his aunt and told them goodbye. And then he disappeared into his room. And about 20 minutes later, he came out, and he comes in, he shows me, he says, look, grandma, I gave myself tattoos. And so he'd drawn tiger stripes up and down his arms. And then here's the kicker, guys. He lifts up his shirt. He goes, and look, and he had drawn a 4-chambered heart on his chest. He has never told me he didn't have a heart since. And he's never had issues with saying goodbye. And I attribute that to being able to utilize this amazing Calm blend.
Oh my gosh, goosebumps, Valerie. That is powerful stuff. I mean, thank you for sharing that. That's just incredible that it did that. I mean, wow.
I
I
know,
don't know
that's
what
why I
to
say
even say
so.
to that one. I mean, it's just that amazing. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Does he still use it to this day?
He absolutely loves Calm. If I've got it sitting around, he always wants to have some. And now he has a younger sister and brother who adore it as well.
Oh, that's awesome. That's really great. Thank you. Well, take out a pen and paper. Excuse my cat in the background. He's interested as well, I guess. But this is some great information. I want to really welcome Greg Halliday. He is Soul Naturals president and founder, and he is going to dig into Soul Essential Calm Oil a little bit with us. Hi, Greg.
Hello, good to see you, Molly. And
Thanks, you
And-
too.
I'm sitting here just meditating on Val's testimonial with Wyatt, because I've met Wyatt. And just the amazing changes. Yeah. I mean, this is, if you talk to Blake on any given day, sourcing things from all over the world, this is why all the work is right there for Wyatt. If it was just for Wyatt, it'd be worth it, right? But it's for all of us. And Tiffany, that was a top drawer teaching of the 4 categories. That was top drawer. If you're listening to this for the first time, the way she explained it, that was top drawer. Thank you. So I'm going to do something a little different with Calm, because really we have an outside expert who's not outside, Jennifer Pressimone. We've known her for many, many years. This is different because in the case of our essential oils, she formulates them. In the case of all the other products, I get in there with various of our top field leaders and scientists. But these are Jennifer. These are from Jennifer's amazing, one of a kind, and I think really profound understanding of aromatics, of essential oils. And Calm, from the moment she created it, Calm has undergone one change. It is not the same formula that she actually enhanced it. That's unique because lift, clarify, and balance have not changed, have they, Valerie, to my knowledge? But Calm has, because in the case of Calm, there was an opportunity. There were 2 things going on at the time that resulted in the formula that we have now. And now we've had this formula for the majority of the years that Soul has been, the 10 years that Soul has been here. But we added yuzu to it. And in fact, I think Tiffany referenced yuzu. Yuzu is part of the 4 signature drinks. And we also, Jennifer tweaked the formula in such a way that I don't know how you could take a perfect formula. Her original Calm to us was perfect, and make it even more perfecter. That is a word. Kind of, but she did that. So what I'm going to do tonight, if I can, a fun thing that I like to do is to look at the information sheets that we have, and you've got one on here, but I'm going to pull it off a different screen. Okay. I'm not going to share my screen. But if you see me staring weirdly into my screen, this is why. I'm reading it. And I like to pick out just the emotional words, because there are so many physical things. I mean, the only thing I want to say to you tonight about physical nutrition, because oils are a type of nutrient as well, and we do not need to eat them. They get into the bloodstream directly. They get to the brain directly. Proven many, many times in science. We apply them and we receive them internally. We inhale them and we receive them internally, and that's wonderful. So if you look at the Calm formula, you'll see a lot of things that have to do with the calm state that Tiffany taught us about. And you'll also see, I'm talking in mental and emotional, but you'll also see a large number of references to digestion and clarity intestinally, and just the whole process of our gut and putting our gut in the right state. How important is the gut in calm? It won't happen. Calm will not happen if we have issues there. So it's really interesting. Jennifer has such a deep knowledge of health. She's really built one-of-a-kind formulas that are unique to Solle, and we couldn't be more grateful to her. But let me just read to you. Apologize for reading off a different screen for a second, but I'm gonna look at the information that any one of us can get on our website. If you just go click on, Calm category and click on the Calm essential oil. And all I'm going to do for just a quick second is pause over those things that are emotional in nature that Jennifer has included in there. So I'm just dropping down through the ingredients, and I'll read them for you. Calms anger, panic, or anxiety. I'm skipping. Promotes feelings of security. Anxiety, decisive, emotional support. That's from Blue Cypress. Dropping down some more. Oh, it's hard for me to skip the physical ones, you guys, because it talks about liver and all sorts of functions in digestion to improve it. I'm skipping them though. Let's see. Confidence as an aspect. Recovery. Let's see. Hysteria. So this is mitigating hysteria, nervous anxiety and stress. Encourages peace and patience. Peace and patience. I was thinking about this one when Valerie was talking. Nourishes ambiguous loss or grief, anger, irritability, rage. Okay. Grounding and calming. Let's see. Distractive thoughts, mental chatter. Calming and mitigating those. Standing up for yourself, standing up for oneself. Injured souls, emotional wounds. Letting go of conflict. Promoting forgiveness, comforting. Okay, so these are just a bunch of words that are the emotional words that stand out throughout, and they're all attached to the different various essential oils. I love that. It's funny, Valerie, because I've heard you talk about Wyatt, but listening to the story again and thinking about this, these are conscious inclusions by Jennifer. And the reason that the formulas have multiple oils instead of one or two, because you could do wonders with one or two of those. Why so many? Well, this isn't just sort of something she takes lightly and throws a word or a phrase on the page. These are actual experiences. As over the many years, it's at least 30 years. I'm trying to think of how many years Jennifer's done that. With the individual ingredients, what she has seen in people, what they've been able to do, adding that nutrition and those wonderful volatile oils into their life. Lots of ways to do it, right? With roll-ons and diffusing in lots of ways. But I think that's become one of my favorite things to do, is to really just look at the emotional impact of things. I'll glance at the physical because it's a great reminder, but I'll focus and meditate on the emotional. And that always gives good guidance for when I need to use them for myself and others around me, and what I need to share with somebody else.
That's great, Greg. Thank you. I love that you said that oils are a type of nutrient. You tend to forget about that part of it. And I think that part of it is what brings a lot of those calming, the emotional aspect is that like it's feeding that. And just that you said, things that we forget about, these traumas that that we can allow our bodies to heal through these oils, and that the ingredients are picked so specifically. And our soul certain guarantee says we select suppliers who utilize harvesting practices that are sustainable and environmentally responsible. So in addition to these wonderful products, they are, the harvesting practices used make it that much more amazing. Can you break that down for us a little?
Oh, absolutely. And since we're talking about essential oils today, I have to tell you that when we talk about suppliers, because we've used only two in our history, and part of it was looking in transitioning. I'm talking about just the essential oils right now. Part of that process is Jennifer wanting to actually speak with the person directly handling them, getting a feel for their energy. And this is something that seems small to people, but it isn't. Not only is that a real thing, but also in terms of affecting the blending and everything else, but it is connected to a whole, I believe, culture of work, including this one that's on the screen, the way in which people operate in this world and how they deal with things. Is it with a long view? Because to me, this one's a really easy one. It's a really easy one for a supplier to get in line with, because if you don't do this in harvesting practices that are sustainable and environmentally responsible, you don't last very long. And the way Solle deals with it is that we all of our suppliers are very, very long time, a number of decades in the business. In fact, almost all of them have been doing it longer than we have. Now, I will say this, new suppliers do come. And so we don't preclude them or block them because they don't have this long history. But there are conversations, there is the talk through on the Solle certain points. And I will tell you, you can have a good supplier come around with a certain ingredient that's in need, that's not able to make it, that's not able to stay in business and make it. But in the time that they're there, they can do some good. Usually though, the good ones, usually they're the ones that stay because they're doing all these things. They're planning for long-term. And I will tell you, one of the reasons that Calm changed its formula when it did all those years ago actually was this point. On one of the ingredients that was used, that was being used here, I won't tell you which one because it's a negative, but I will tell you it's one of the chamomiles, not the two that we have in here. Another one that's quite popular that was not being harvested according to these standards and was being depleted. These two, Roman and German, that we include in the column now, are done that way and cover everything that the other one did, plus actually a little broader spectrum because you're combining two instead of having just one. So it's an important one, and it's telling when a supplier isn't meeting this. We usually don't see them very long, and they're not usually a part of our processes.
Yeah, that's really amazing. And like Denise Norbut said, it's similar to cooking just to cook. You can cook to just feed, but you can also cook using your heart, and you can tell the difference in that. And building that rapport with those suppliers and getting to know them and knowing the integrity in which they produce these products is really it says a lot about them, and then it says a lot about Solle also, because they won't reduce their standards in order to get specific ingredients just to have that ingredient. So, well, thank you, Greg, so much for sharing.
My pleasure.
Well, next up we have Kristen Brunias. Kristen, how are you?
I'm great. This has been amazing.
Share a little bit of your journey with us.
Yes, absolutely. So I want to take you back to fall of 2017. I was a mom of a 4-year-old, 6-year-old, and 7-year-old. So right in the midst of that, like really busy, they're kind of starting school, but not quite. And I was overwhelmed, exhausted, confused, and literally debilitated by anxiety. I had a previous business and that business was dwindling. And at the same time, my health was collapsing. So I went to the only place that you go to for answers, at least the only place I go to, and that would be Google. Google is my favorite place to go when I need to know something. I don't know about you guys. And I began searching for solutions that would help me with my health. And I stumbled upon Soul Naturals. And I mean, I can only say that the series of events that led to me Googling things that brought me to Soul could only have been God ordained, literally. I found the website on a Friday. I looked at it all weekend long. I showed my husband it. And by Monday, I made that fateful phone call where I got on the phone with a 6'4" tall guy with dimples that is now a good friend, Jordan, who's the vice president of the company. And I signed up on the spot, which is kind of crazy, right? I didn't know anything about this company. I found it on Google, and I dove in with both feet because I knew if I was feeling this way, hundreds of other people would too. I have no background in health. I actually have my degree in elementary education. I've waitressed, I've done youth ministry. No, I didn't even know what an adaptogenic herb was. When all you soul people started talking about adaptogens, I went back to Google and had to Google again because I had no idea. So I decided, not really consciously, to make my journey an open book. I'm an avid social media user. One of my loves of life is social media. And I started sharing on social media the small changes that I was noticing. Things like not needing a nap on particular days, sometimes TMI stuff about my cycles, which I still can't believe I shared that. Other things about just inflammation. And I became an open book on Facebook, and I really just invited people to walk alongside me. That has always been my mission in pretty much anything I do, but especially in business, that I'm not above you, I'm not below you, I'm walking right beside you. And I'm still doing that to this day. So we embraced this journey together. As people came on, we were in it together. When I had bad days, I would tell them. When they had bad days, they would tell me, and vice versa when we had great days. And we found hope along the way. Looking back, I'm almost at my 5-year anniversary. Actually, September, it'll be 5 years for me. And I can't imagine what life would be like without Soul. I was really broken. I was broken mentally, emotionally, physically. And for me, I was also broken financially. I can tell you guys some really crazy stories about how we were financially struggling, and it almost broke my marriage. And my kids were really little, and we were in a pretty unstable environment financially. Through Soul, I was able to play a part in that. I'm not just crediting my husband. My husband's amazing. We worked really hard. And together we worked really hard to pay off the debt, get back on our feet, and seeing our dreams become a reality. And one of those dreams just happened recently. One of our dreams is, my husband has been in construction for 25 years, and we were able to build a house for ourselves, not a contractor, us literally building it, painting it. Like, I learned how to tile and doing all of that stuff on our own. And so I was able to see one of those dreams become a reality, and Soul was a big part of that. So what I find in this Soul business is, the more I share my story and journey, the more people I'm able to help, the more I'm able to improve my family's financial situation. And I'll tell you what, what other business pays you for posting on social media, sharing about poop, pee, sleep, and those sorts of things, and energy, and encouraging others and giving them hope. And while you're doing that, you're also earning an income. So that Google search is forever something I'll be thankful for. And don't ever discredit the power of the search engine because it changed my life.
Forever grateful for that rabbit hole, huh? Well, thank you. You know, it's really it's funny because you had said, you know, sometimes it's TMI, but the TMI is oftentimes it's just, you know, your authentic self and the excitement that you feel about feeling better. You know, that is such a powerful feeling. And so to be able to share that and express that to people is really awesome, that, you know, you can give them that hope. It makes your situation relatable to other people. And, you know, when you allow yourself to be vulnerable, people can see that you're human and that you are in similar positions to them. And then it gives them hope that they can feel better too. So I applaud you for your whole journey. It's really incredible. And I'm grateful that I've been a part of that with you. So thank you for sharing, Kristen. On that note, have you thought about joining the Soul business? So this is a great opportunity to touch base with the specialist who invited you here. Talk to them about joining for $25, and then you receive that $25 back with your first member. So it's kind of a wash, and it's really, when I joined, it was kind of a no-brainer. And it's a unique opportunity. It's one I've never looked back on, and it's really an awesome company to be a part of. It really is like family. So if you are interested, please talk to the person who invited you tonight more about that. And let's see. So yes, we have the Stories of Hope on Facebook. You can text to the number on your screen and reach out to the person who invited you for help, for questions. We have a great community here, and there is so much information and so many resources at your fingertips. So thank you for being here tonight, and everybody who shared. And I hope you all have a great night.
Thanks, Molly. Awesome job.
Thank you.